Picture this. You're standing in line for coffee on a Tuesday morning. Same place you've gone for years. Phone in one hand, cup in the other. And while you're waiting, you check your banking app. The number looks fine. Not exciting, not scary. Just steady. You've been saving every month for years. No drama, no big mistakes, no gambling, no crypto disasters, just discipline. And you feel proud, calm, responsible. This is what winning is supposed to feel like, right? Here's the betrayal. You thought saving for 10 years was playing it safe, but what's actually happening is that time is quietly working against you, and the math is doing damage you don't feel yet. Not because you're careless, because the system rewards comfort, not progress. Let me name what's really going on here. I call it the time comfort trap. The time comfort trap is when long timelines create emotional safety while silently eroding real outcomes. The longer the plan, the safer it feels, even when the result is worse. Your brain loves long timelines. 10 years sounds mature, responsible, a bolt. It signals patience. It signals virtue. It signals that you're not reckless. But the math doesn't care about virtue. Let's keep this simple. No scary formulas, just assumptions. If we assume prices rise over time, not dramatically, just steadily, then money that sits still doesn't stay neutral. It shrinks in usefulness. The number stays the same. What it can buy does not. So when you say I'm saving for 10 years, what you're really saying is I'm choosing stability of behavior over accuracy of outcome. That choice feels safe. It is not free. And this trap doesn't hit all at once. It climbs a ladder. At the bottom rung are daily decisions. Money parked in checking, money parked in savings. I'll decide later. You don't lose anything today. That's why it works. The loss is invisible. It hides in future prices. Then, the next rung, medium goals. Saving slowly for a house, a wedding, a move. You stretch the timeline because stretching feels responsible. Less risk, less stress. But every year you stretch, the finish line drifts. And then, the top rung, life-level consequences. You look back and realize you are disciplined, but not deliberate. Careful, but not precise. You didn't waste money. You just underestimated time. This is where people get confused and blame themselves. I should have saved more. I should have been stricter. I should have started earlier. No, this isn't about effort. It's about structure. Two biases are doing most of the work here. First, present bias. Your brain discounts future pain. Slow loss doesn't trigger alarms. There's no emotional signal screaming danger. Second, status quo bias. Once a system is set, automatic transfers, default accounts. Changing it feels risky, even if staying is worse. And here's the part that should make you angry, but not at yourself. The system benefits from this. Banks benefit from parked money. Platforms benefit from inactivity. The cultural script benefits from calling patience wisdom without checking the math. No one rushes to correct you because quiet erosion looks like stability from the outside. That's why this feels like just life. It's not life. It's design. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because saving for 10 years doesn't fail loudly. It fails politely. It fails slowly. It fails in a way that makes you think you did everything right. And that's the most dangerous kind. Let me make this concrete with real life, because this isn't abstract. This is already playing out around you. First example, daily scale. I know people who have had 5 figures sitting in savings for years. Same bank, same account, same logic. This is my safety net. Every month they add a little more and feel a little more responsible. But what's actually happening is their time is doing nothing. The money feels protected, but the goal it's meant to serve is drifting away. Rent rises, healthcare rises, mobility costs rise. The safety net stays the same size while the fall gets deeper. Second example, medium scale. Saving for a house over a long timeline. This one hurts. People stretch the plan from 5 years to 10 because it lowers monthly pressure. It feels smart, conservative. But while they're patiently saving, the target keeps moving. Not because of bad luck, because prices don't wait for your discipline. So the saver does everything right and still feels behind. That confusion isn't accidental. It's the time comfort trap at work. Third example, life scale. Retirement, the longest timeline of all. This is where comfort becomes lethal, because 10 years turns into 20. 20 turns into I'll deal with it later. And later turns into realizing that time was the variable you mispriced. Here's where people make predictable mistakes. I hear these all the time. Mistake 1, confusing consistency with progress. Mistake 2, believing time automatically compounds in your favor. Mistake 3, thinking low risk means low cost. Mistake 4, assuming later is neutral. Mistake 5, outsourcing thinking to defaults. Mistake 6, measuring effort instead of outcome. None of these are moral failures. They're cognitive shortcuts. Your brain evolved to avoid immediate danger, not long-term inefficiency. Slow loss doesn't trigger fear. It triggers complacency. And the system leans into that. Default savings accounts, auto transfers, clean dashboards. Everything designed to feel calm and responsible. No alarms, no friction, no urgency. Because urgency would cause questions, and questions disrupt flows. So what do? Not panic, not gamble, not chase returns. You build a defense playbook. Here's a general one, educational, not personal advice. First, shorten feedback loops. Long timelines hide errors. Check progress against real-world prices, not account balances. Second, separate safe from static. Safety is about resilience, not inactivity. Third, force intentional reviews. If a plan runs untouched for years, that's a warning sign, not a virtue. Fourth, define the purpose of every dollar. Undefined money defaults to erosion. Fifth, upgrade your metric. Stop asking, did I save? Start asking, did this move me closer? That's it. No hacks, no hype, just clarity. Because once you see the time comfort trap, you stop confusing patience with precision. You stop letting time numb your decisions. You become the person who measures reality, not reassurance. If this explains something you felt but couldn't name, hit like, subscribe if you want more invisible rules exposed, and share this with someone who's been doing everything right but still feels stuck. That's not failure. That's design. And now you see it. Here's the shift that changes everything. Once you understand this isn't about effort, you stop trying to be better and start trying to be accurate. Accuracy beats discipline over long timelines. Most people don't need more motivation. They need a better mental model. Because the invisible rule you were never taught is this: time amplifies structure, not intention. If the structure is passive, time doesn't help you. It just stretches the mistake. This is why saving for 10 years feels safe. It gives your identity something to hold on to. I'm responsible. I'm patient. I'm not reckless. That identity is powerful and dangerous because identities resist updates. So the final defense isn't tactical. It's personal. You have to change who you think you are in the story. Not, I'm a saver, but I'm a decision maker. A saver follows rules. A decision maker checks assumptions. A saver feels good when the balance goes up. A decision maker asks what the balance can actually do. A saver trusts time. The decision maker prices time. This doesn't mean rushing. It doesn't mean risk-seeking. It means refusing to let comfort replace thinking. Because the real cost of the time comfort trap isn't money. It's waking up later and realizing you were calm the whole time while your options narrowed. And here's the quiet truth no one says out loud. You don't lose years all at once. You lose them one, I'll review this later, at a time. So, be the person who doesn't outsource awareness. Be the person who treats long timelines as a signal to look closer, not relax. Be the person who understands that safety without strategy is just slow exposure. If this video put words to something you've felt for a long time, you're not alone, and you're not late. You're early to seeing the rule, like the video, so this reaches people still stuck in false comfort. Subscribe if you want more invisible systems decoded, and share this with someone who's been saving for years and wondering why it still feels fragile. Because once you see how the math really works, you don't need false reassurance anymore. You build real control.